Hellenic Echo, speaking about Hellenism, a show dedicated to Holy Week, the Resurrection, and Easter. Host Sissy, Osia, Sigioultzi. Dear listeners, good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever you may be tuning in from, in whichever corner of the world the heart of Hellenism beats. You are tuned into Hellenic Echo, the show that gives voice to Greece, to culture, to our language, and to our souls. Today, in this special episode, we let words be clothed in reverence and mystery. We focus on Holy Week, the climax of the divine drama. We open our hearts to the resurrection, the most redemptive message of Orthodoxy. And we celebrate Easter with you, Lambri, the feast of life, of spring, of love, of hope. Let's begin with a small story. They say that if you happen to be in a village in Crete on Good Friday night, you'll see the priest commemorating inside the church the names of all the departed souls of the village, even those who passed away generations ago. They say that in that moment, the sorrow of the cross becomes remembrance, honor, prayer, and a connection with eternity. And when, just a few hours later, the words, Christ is risen, ring out, we all know we are part of a miracle that repeats every spring, every Easter, in every Hellenic soul. Let's talk now about Holy Week, the journey to resurrection. Holy Week, from Palm Sunday to Holy Saturday, is a path of spiritual purification. It is dedicated to the Holy Passion of Christ, in remembrance of his sacrifice, and it is called holy not for its length, but for the magnitude of the events it encompasses. From the bridegroom Christ of Holy Monday to the 12 Gospels of Holy Thursday, from the crucifixion and descent from the cross of Good Friday to the first resurrection of Holy Saturday, each day holds deep symbolism and is tied to customs and traditions passed down through centuries. George Seferis, in his unique way, connects Easter with the deep spiritual core of Hellenism, writing, "None of our traditions, Christian or pre-Christian, has ever truly died. Often, when I attend the Good Friday service, I find it hard to decide whether the God being buried is Christ or Adonis." Let's now talk about the resurrection, light, and the triumph of life. On Holy Saturday night, as the lights go out and the priest steps out of the altar saying, "Come, receive the light," the moment is unique. The resurrection is the redemption of mankind, the triumph of light over darkness, the reconnection with hope. The holy light that comes from the Holy Sepulchre reaches every parish, every home, every corner of Greek land, and even beyond into the hearts of Greeks in the diaspora. It is the gate to eternity. It is our personal resurrection. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to Lambri, the Easter of Hellenism. Easter is not simply a feast. It is the pinnacle of the Greek calendar. It is the great spiritual spring of Hellenism. It is tradition, ritual, history, faith, joy, and creativity. It is the Passover, the passage from sorrow to redemption, from death to life. The red eggs, the chourekia, the festive table, mayiritza, and roasted lamb, the fireworks, the kiss of love, the burning of Judas, the reenactments of the Passion, the Easter lanterns in Leonidio, the rocket war of Chios, the flower-covered bier of Paros, and the sea of Hydra that embraces the epitaphios, all these are the poetry of our people. Easter, beyond being the third expression of faith, also brings with it a unique local custom and customs in many places. All across Greece, people celebrate Lambri in their own special way. In Kalamata, the traditional Bouloukia custom is revived with Saitomachi side fighters, a spectacle linked to 1821 revolution. In Leonidio, the sky lights up with glowing balloons on the night of the resurrection in a spectacular competition among the local parishes. In Corfu, on the morning of Holy Saturday, there is a procession of the epitaph of Saint Spiridon, followed by the famous custom of smashing bodibus, large clay pots. In Amorgos, every village preserves traditions from Lazarus Saturday to resurrection with a focus on devout simplicity. In Paros, in the villages of Marpisa and Marmara, children perform theatrical reenactments to the Passion with live tableaux. In Hydra, the epitaph is carried into the sea, and on the day after Easter, Judas is burned. In Chios, the famous rocket war between parishes of Rontados creates an inspiring display of light and sound. In Limnos, the first red egg is dedicated to the Virgin Mary and placed in the household icon stand. In Western Macedonia, women hang red clothes on their balconies, and those in mourning dye their eggs in different colors. In Hanya, local create a human figure representing Judas, which is paraded through the streets, beaten and burned. In Ierissos, Chalkidiki, the custom of the black land of threshing floor is revived, a commemorative circle done honoring the massacre of 400 locals in 1821. In Thassos, the ancient custom Rain on Me April comes to life with traditional dances. In Athens, in the past, women would gather flour to make sarraused bread with a relic of the Holy Cross. In Kithnos, the resurrection is celebrated with dances around the church, when in Spetches, a floating epitaph moves solemnly across the dark day. In Naxos, Easter retains a strong character of traditional music and dance. In Cyprus, special customs honor both the memory of the resurrection and the martyrs of faith and homeland. In Mani and Monemvasia, the customs echo a Byzantine atmosphere, with epitaphs carried through narrow stone alleys. In Patmos, the ceremony of the washing of the feet is reenacted live in the main town square. In Samothrace and Skyros, rituals with deeply rooted pre-Christian elements are brought to life. In Pelion and Lesbos, Easter swings are set up, a custom linked to the ancient Eora of the Athesteria festival. And of course, in every village and every island, people breathe Easter, with local delicacies, ritual baking, the burning of Judas, epitaph processions passing under flowered arches, reverently decorated candles, prayers, embraces, the kiss of love, and songs around the table. Let's now talk about the memory and symbolism, a global celebration with a Greek heart. Holy Week and Easter are both global and deeply personal experiences. They unite the Greek Orthodox identity with ancient myths, folklore, and pre-Christian rituals, from the abduction of Persephone to the Ancestoria, from Adonis to the Egyptian tradition of Lazarus. The resurrection of Christ shows us the path of inner elevation, spiritual rebirth, and eternal life. It is the abolishment of death, the liberation of the spirit, the realization of the divine within us. Dear friends of Hellenic Echo, I keep the word anthesteria, λέμε στα ελληνικά. Easter is the light of Hellenism that never fades, full of anthe, flowers. And this is how we want our life to be, full of flowers, but real flowers, unique, with color, perfume, and symbolism. So Easter is the bond of Greeks everywhere. It is the invitation to rediscover the deeper meaning of existence and hope. It is our opportunity to personal resurrection. From the bottom of my heart, I wish you a blessed resurrection with health, love, hope, strength, and light. And don't forget, Hellenic Echo is the voice of Hellenism around the world. I will be waiting for you again next week in our live broadcast. Always Greek time, 2 a.m., with replays every Thursday and Sunday at the same time through our cultural hub, culturalassociation.org. So, listen live, stay connected, stay Hellenic wherever you are.